Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. The holidays are just around the corner, and that means time for baking and making delicious desserts. In today's show, I'll be making caramel pecan pie, caramel sauce, walnut tart, and cream puff pastry. We will start off by making the caramel sauce. This is a real easy recipe to make. If you don't want to go through all the steps to make the caramel sauce, of course you can buy it from the store. So for this recipe, I will need 1 1/3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of light corn syrup, this will go in a heavy saucepan. We will place it over medium to high heat without stirring. We'll just let the sugar melt, and then we'll start swirling the pot as soon as the sugar starts melting. The sugar is all melted, and of course we should not be stirring the mixture at all with a spoon or with anything else. We're just gonna swirl the pan to make sure everything is evenly distributed, and we'll continue cooking the mixture until it turns amber color and it forms into a caramel color. Our sugar, our corn syrup, looks so beautiful. Look how it turned to this amber color. We will turn the heat off, and now to this I will add 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter, we will stir with a wooden spoon until all melted. Look how it's turning into caramel already. It's getting thick and it smells like caramel already. In the meantime, I will measure 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. The butter is all melted. Now I will add the cream in a stream to the mixture and keep mixing. Slowly we add it. Smells amazing. Now we'll keep stirring until everything is nicely incorporated and will form a beautiful and glossy mixture. And it's already forming into a caramel sauce. Look at the beautiful color of this caramel. And it has this consistency of a sauce, and the color is so beautiful. It's like golden and it's amazing. And this is our caramel sauce. It's ready. We'll set it on the side to cool off for a few minutes. Now it's time for us to make the caramel pecan pie. We will start off by making the pie crust. For this, I will need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is gonna go in a bowl of a food processor. Of course, if you don't want to go through all this trouble by making this pie crust, you can always buy a pie crust from the store. But this is very easy recipe and really few ingredients, and it's nothing like homemade pie crust. So I have 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour in the bowl. To this, I will add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. We'll process the dry ingredients until well blended. And now to this I will add 2 sticks of very cold sliced butter. Actually, I cut it into cubes. While the machine is running, I'll add the pieces of cold butter, unsalted butter, 2 sticks equivalent to 1 cup of butter. We will wait until the mixture resembles coarse meal and it will almost look like sand. You still see pieces of butter visible in the mixture. And we'll check it. And this is exactly how we want it. It looks like sand and it feels like sand. Now we'll add 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of iced water. We will start off with 1/4. We want to make sure we strain it. We don't want to have pieces of ice in our dough because this is going to damage the whole dough. And we add 1/4 cup to start with. Very cold ice water. Check it. The dough is coming together. It's forming a very soft and smooth dough, so it's ready. We will remove it from the bowl. I'll transfer the dough into a plastic wrap. Beautiful. It's gonna be flaky and it's gonna give us amazing pie. We don't wanna overwork the dough. We're just gonna press it like that to make sure it's nicely incorporated and it's forming a nice dough. We will cover it, the plastic wrap, and we will form it into a disc. Amazing pie crust. And this will go in the fridge for about an hour or overnight. My pie crust was in the fridge for about 2 hours, so it's nice and cold. I will peel off the plastic wrap from the pie. Look how beautiful it looks. Dust my work surface with some flour and we will try to roll it out into about 10 to 12 inches in diameter. Look how beautiful and flaky the dough is. It's amazing. Love making pie crust. It's nothing better like homemade pie crust. And when I make pie crust, I usually make about 5-6 of them, and I just leave them in the freezer. So all what you need to do is take them out an hour before you want to make a pie, and you'll have it ready. You will release the pie crust from the work surface. Make sure it's not sticking on it. And with the aid of the rolling pin, dusting off any excess flour, you will transfer it to this beautiful pie dish. We'll try to fit it in. I will fold under all the extra hanging dough and then crimp the edges just flush with the top and the edges of the pie dish to give it a nice design, just like that. Real simple. We'll crimp the edges to give it some design for our pie, just like that, simple. And we'll set it on the side. Now I will prepare the filling for the caramel pecan pie. For this recipe, I need 1 package of 8 ounces cream cheese, softened to room temperature, that we will beat. We will beat the green cheese until nice and creamy. To this, I will add ½ cup of sugar, ½ teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 large egg, we'll continue beating until nice and creamy. Now our mixture looks nice and creamy. We will remove it. And spoon it into our prepared pie crust. Just like that. We will spread it evenly. I will sprinkle 2 cups of pecan halves. Spread this evenly on top. Now I will measure 1 cup of caramel sauce that we made earlier. Look how gorgeous and beautiful this caramel sauce is. Perfect. And this will go into the bowl of a mixer. Whisk. And to this I will add 3 large eggs. We'll add them to the caramel. and we'll mix until nicely blended together. This looks good. Now I will place the pie dish into a baking sheet, just in case. And then we will spoon this over the pecans. What a beautiful combination. The caramel with the pecans and the cream cheese. It's gonna be an amazing pie. And this will go in the oven to bake. I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. We'll bake the pie for 20 to 25 minutes until golden brown crust. Check on our pie. It's been baking for 25 minutes and looks amazing. Now we want to cover the edges so they don't burn, and we will continue baking the pie for 15 more minutes. We will check on our pie. Let's see how is it doing. We'll remove this top off. And look how beautiful, how golden brown the edges are. It looks amazing. It smells so good. We'll set it on the side to cool off for about a couple hours or so before slicing it. Now it's time to make the walnut tart. Before we start anything, we want to make the tart dough. For this recipe, I need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. That's gonna go in the bowl of a food processor. If you don't want to use the food processor, you can just knead by hand. To this, I have 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, we will pause to mix all the dry ingredients together, and then while the machine is running, I have 6 tablespoons of unsalted, very cold butter that is gonna go into the bowl while the machine is running. We will check. This almost looks like sand. All the pieces of butter are nicely incorporated into the flour mixture, and this is exactly how we want it. Now to this, I will add 3 to 4 tablespoons of milk. I will add 3 first and then check, see if I need to add more. You can always add more, but you can't take out any of that if it's too wet. And also, I need to add 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Check the mixture. It looks amazing. Everything is coming together and the dough looks beautiful. Now I will transfer the dough into a piece of plastic wrap. The dough is crumbly, and this is exactly how we want it. We don't want to overwork the dough. We will just push it together like that. We want to make sure our dough will be nice and flaky. Overworked dough will not give you that flaky pie or tart. So we want to make sure, just gently spread it like that. We will cover it and then form it into a disc, and this will go in the fridge to cool for 1 hour. Our tart dough has been in the fridge cooling for about an hour. Now what I have is I have a Christmas tree shape tart pan with removable bottom that I brushed with some butter, and then to this what I need to do is I'll dust the work surface with some flour. I will remove the plastic wrap from the tart dough. And I will roll it out almost into, trying to roll it out into the shape. If you are using round tart pan, you can roll it out into a round circle, or you can just try to roll it out into almost like rectangle, pointing maybe the top and wider on the bottom, almost shaped like the tart pan. So it'll be easy to fit in. This is a beautiful dough. We'll see if it's large enough. Maybe roll it out a little bit more on the sides. We will try to scrape it out, just in case some of it is sticking on the work surface, using this spatula. We can fix any tear that happens into the dough. It's nice and pliable. Perfect. And now, with the aid of our rolling pin, we will transfer the dough into the tart pan. Just like that. Look how beautiful and easy this is. We will try to fit it in the pan. Our tart dough, it's fitting nicely in our prepared tart pan. Looks beautiful. And now we will just use the rolling pin to flush it with the rim, just like that. So easy. And try to pick up any extra dough from the edges. Looks beautiful. And this will go in the fridge to cool off for about 30 minutes. Our tart dough has been cooling in the fridge for about half an hour. So before I do anything, I wanna line the bottom of the tart with some parchment paper that I already cut to fit into our Christmas tree tart pan. Looks good. And then we will fill it with some pie weight. Even them out. And this will go in the oven to bake. I have my oven preheated to 375 degrees. We'll bake the tart in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Our tart pan has been baking for 15 minutes. We will remove it. We'll set it on the side to cool off for about 5 minutes. Now we will remove the parchment paper and the pie weight from our tart pan, and we'll continue baking the tart pan in the oven for another 15 minutes. We'll check on our tart shell. Look how gorgeous, golden brown, and it looks amazing. We will set it on the side to cool completely. Now we will prepare the filling for our tart. For this recipe, I need to add half cup of water in a heavy saucepan, 1.5 cups of sugar, we'll let it melt for a minute or so over high heat. We stir until the sugar is all melted and sugar is all dissolved. To this I will add 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and we'll let it simmer until it turns amber color, and candy thermometer will register 250 degrees. Our tart shell, it's been cooling off and it's really nice and cold. I have toasted 1.5 cups of walnut halves. I will arrange them on the shell, on the tart shell, just like that. Arranging all the walnut halves that I toasted, lightly toasted in the oven for a few minutes. Looks really good now. Set it on the side. Sugar mixture is turning amber color. Look how beautiful it looks. We will remove it from the stove. To this I will add 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Mix until all melted. And then slowly I will add 1/3 cup of heavy whipping cream in a stream, and we'll keep mixing until nicely blended. And now we will spoon this on top of the walnuts. Make sure it's evenly distributed among the walnut halves that we have. And then we'll set this on the side to cool completely before serving it. Now it's time for us to make the cream puff pastry. For this recipe, I will start off by making the dough for the puff pastry. For this, I will need 1 cup of water that's coming in a heavy saucepan, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We'll bring the mixture to a boil. Our mixture is boiling. We will remove it from the heat, and now we will add 1¼ cup of all-purpose flour. Stirring constantly. We'll stir until nicely blended. We'll turn the heat down and we will place it over medium heat and cook for about a minute or so. Now we will remove it from the heat and we'll set it on the side to cool for about 10 minutes. Now our mixture is cold enough to add the eggs to it. We'll transfer it to the bowl of an electric mixer. Just want to touch it, make sure it's cold enough. We don't want to cook the eggs in it after adding them to this mixture. If it's too hot, it's gonna cook the eggs. We want to make sure it's cold enough for us. I need to add 4 eggs to our mixture. So we'll add 1 at a time and we'll continue mixing. We're adding our last egg to the mixture and we'll whisk until we get a smooth and glossy batter. Our batter looks beautiful. Look how nice and smooth and shiny. That looks amazing. Now I have a pastry bag fitted with a plain nozzle about 1/2 inch in diameter. I will spoon some of the mixture into the bag. Try to push to get all the air bubbles out. We will squeeze about 2 inches in diameter, just like that, leaving about 2 inches in between. If you want them to be larger, you have to squeeze a little bit more, or if you want them to be even smaller, you squeeze a little bit less. It depends. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I will bake the puffs in the oven for about 12 minutes. You will check on our puff pastries. Look how beautiful and puffed they are. Now all what we need to do is turn the temperature down to 350 degrees and bake them for another 12 minutes. We'll check on our puffs. Look how beautiful and golden and puffed they are. They look amazing. We will set them on the side to cool completely before filling the puff pastries. Now we will prepare the filling for our cream puff pastry, or actually the cream that goes on the cream puff pastry. For this recipe, I need 2 cups of very cold, heavy whipping cream. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. It's going into the bowl of an electric mixer. We'll whisk until soft peaks form. In the meantime, I will zest 3 oranges. The orange zest will add a lot to our cream that we will be using to fill in the puff pastries. set this on the side. Now, the whipped cream is forming a soft peaks. At this time, I will add half cup of powdered sugar and will continue whisking until stiff peaks form. To this, I will add 2 tablespoons of orange liqueur. You could add any liqueur that you want, just because we are using orange zest, so we want to blend it together. And now we will add orange zest to our mixture. Look how beautiful. And this should be ready. Look how gorgeous the color is, and it smells amazing. We will gently fold everything together. We don't want to break the stiff peaks that formed into our whipped cream or into our pastry cream. This will go in the fridge until we are ready to use it. Our puff pastry be sitting out for about an hour and they are nice and cold. We want to make sure they are nice and cold before we start filling them. So my filling was in the fridge cooling also. I will spoon it into a bag, pastry bag, fit it with a star nozzle. Love, love, love this filling. Smells amazing. The orange zest, the orange liqueur, it is amazing. And then we'll just leave it here for a minute. In the meantime, I will slice my puff pastries open, just like that. Look how beautiful they look. Now we are ready to fill our pastries. So we'll remove the top part out and just fill with some of the cream and place the cap back on. Can't wait to have a piece of this. This looks amazing. The cream puffs are all filled with our beautiful cream that we made. And now lastly but not least, we will drizzle some caramel sauce that we made on top, just to add more sweetness to them, to add more color to them, and it blends beautifully with the golden color puffs. Love, love this. So, so beautiful. Just like that. That's all the time that we have for today. In today's show, I made my favorite desserts for the holidays coming up. In today's show, I made caramel pecan pie, I made walnut tart, I made some caramel sauce and cream puff pastry. Thank you so much for coming to my kitchen, and we hope to see you next time with more exotic dishes. Happy holidays!
Welcome to my kitchen.